Hey there, this is Peter Ahiri. Welcome to my page, welcome to my channel, and here we share creative inspirational principles for life and living, for success and fulfillment, and here you can, be sure to get motivation and inspiration to move your life forward. And once again, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. And then also, if you're new to this channel, I would like to please crave your indulgence to give us a like and do well to subscribe to the channel as well, and even hit the notification button. All right, so today we're quickly going to be learning about five principles to move your life forward. 5 principles to move your life forward, and I've titled those 5 principles "How to Find Hope When Life Seems Hopeless." Yes, how to find hope when life seems hopeless. Sometimes we find ourselves in very unpleasant circumstances. We find ourselves in this stage and situation where it's as if we do not know where to get from there. We do not know how to move forward. We do not know what next steps to take from where we are. That is probably because we have encountered some setbacks. A lot of unpleasant things has happened. Maybe you lost a loved one. Maybe you've had a number of failures, a number of failed attempts, and then you're wondering, where do I go from here? And everything just seems, the future looks so dark and bleak that you don't know what else to do. So what can you do? How can you find hope to move forward in that situation when it appears that everything seems hopeless? Okay, so the first thing that I would like to recommend, the first principle that I would recommend for anyone in that situation is to, number 1, reflect. Yes, reflect on how your journey has been so far. Sometimes to go forward, you may need to look backwards. Sometimes looking backwards is where you find the motivation, where you find the reason, where you find the resolve to ultimately propel yourself forward. So sometimes you may just want to reflect on your life so far, on your growing up stage, on your childhood, on the past, and the purpose of reflecting is not to regret. It's not to start regretting on all of the mistakes that you have made in the past. No. The purpose of that reflection, or that reflecting, is to give you perspective on where you're coming from. Just to give you perspective on where you're coming from. And so you are able to understand how you have gotten to where you are at this point in time. So that's the first thing that I would recommend that you do when you find yourself in a hopeless situation. Reflect on your journey and your life so far. And then secondly, the number 2 principle that you can apply is to count your blessings. Yes. What do I mean by count your blessings? What are some of the things that you have enjoyed over time? What are some of the lessons that you have learned over time? Not just lessons now in general, but some of the things that you have come to appreciate about your life. Okay? Some of the things that you have been blessed with. Some of the valuable relationships you've come to have, maybe your family members, maybe your spouse, for instance. You just need to, as you reflect, take out time to count your blessings. Take out time to take note of some of those things that that has been of a positive contribution in your life, that has made positive contributions in your life. These are your blessings. And a songwriter says, count your blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Right? So in the process of reflecting on your past, it becomes sometimes very necessary for you to count your blessings. Counting your blessings helps to reduce your depression, helps to reduce the pain of whatever you're going through presently. So it's good to count your blessings. It's very, very important to count your blessings. All right. And then the number 3 principle that you can apply at that stage as well is to give thanks. Yes, give thanks. In fact, giving thanks naturally follows counting your blessings. Because when you count your blessings, you know what God has done for you. You know what how much blessings that life has offered to you, right? You begin to find less reason to feel downcast and more reason to be hopeful about the future. Because now you have reflected on the past, you have identified certain things that count as blessings, and now you begin to give thanks. Gratitude. In fact, they say gratitude is an attitude that brings men to high altitudes, right? Maybe not, there could be various variations or various formats to that saying, but then gratitude works every time. It always helps to minimize your hopelessness and maximize your hopefulness, all right? Okay, and then the number 4 principle is to take stock. Take stock. What do I mean by take stock? Yes, you may have lost a lot of things in the past. You may have encountered a lot of failures in the past. You may have suffered a lot of unpleasant, experiences in the past. So now taking stock means to ask yourself, what do I have right now? What do I have right now? What is currently at hand? Right? What is currently at hand? In spite of everything I may have lost, what do I have going? One of the things that you can take stock of is that you have breath in your nostrils. Yes. One of the things that you can take stock of is that you probably still have friends and loved ones in your life. You may probably still have some money in your account. You probably still have your health in place. Your mind is still reasoning intact. Your mind is still reasoning properly. And, you may still have a roof over your head. But whatever it is, take stock of what you currently have. Sometimes your knowledge, in spite of the things that you have been through, the experience has taught you some things. Now you have more experience, you have more knowledge, you have more wisdom and knowledge to draw from in the coming days. So you have something, as a matter of fact. You always have something. Hopelessness tries to tell you that you have nothing. In fact, that is usually one of the things that leads people into depression. When you start feeling like you have nothing at all, you have lost everything, then you begin to sink into depression. But when you know that there are still some things you have working and going in your life, then you're not going to be hopeless, really, are you? You don't know. At least you have something to build your hope on. And that's where finding hope begins to come in. When you reflect, principle number 1, and then number 2, you count your blessings, principle number 2, and then number 3, you give thanks for those blessings. You also now begin to take stock of what you have. And sometimes what you currently have is part of the blessings that you've just, counted. And then you take stock of that. And then as you take stock of what you currently have now, in spite of what you may have lost, you can now begin to take apply the final principle, which is to focus on what you can do now with what you have now from where you are now. Yes. You begin to focus. That's the fifth principle, number 5. Principle number 5, focus on what you can do now with what you have now from where you are now. Stop worrying about what you lost in the past. Stop worrying about what you may not yet have had in the present, and then stop being anxious about what the future may hold and what you may or may not be able to accomplish in the future. Just focus on what you can do now with what you have now from where you are now. When you do that, you free yourself from the regret of the past and the anxiety of the future. Being in the moment being in the moment is where you begin to find hope. Yes, because now you can do something with what you have now, with what you have from where you are now. You begin to have a clearer picture of what the future can be. A clearer picture of what the future can be. And then, as you do that, my friend, you begin to find hope for a better future. You begin to find hope and clarity for tomorrow. And that is how you begin to move your life forward, right? Okay. But before I round up this video, I'm also going to add a bonus principle. As a matter of fact, this is not a principle. This is not a principle at all, because all what we have been talking about are principles. But the last thing I just want to add is what I call the principle, right? Is what I call the principle. And this is the reason for this, that I cannot afford not to share this with you, is because I am first and foremost a Christian, and my relationship with God is my most prized possession. And so I'll add that you get to know God as well, just in case you do not already know Him. But if you already know Him, then build your relationship with God even better. You see, build that relationship, invest time and commitment into building your relationship with God. Sometimes that's really the game changer. That's really the turning point. At least I know that for me, that's one of the most important things that has ever happened in my life. That's an additional point, which is actually for me the foundation. Okay, but if you have listened thus far and you apply the 5 principles I have shared with you, then definitely your life is already moving forward. Okay, so this is what I just wanted to share with us today. I hope you have learned something. I hope you have gained something. I hope these 5 principles do help. If there's anything you want to ask or contribute to what I have said, please share with me in the comments. And if there's something you would like me to talk about next, maybe in my subsequent videos, feel free to let me know in the comments, and I will pay attention to it, and I would love to talk about it. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you in this video. See you very, very soon. God bless you.